guys, welcome back to another Rate the Transfer Rumour show. This is the show that rates the transfer rumour. Daz is going to give us a rating between 1 and 10. 1 is highly unlikely, 10 is very likely. So we'll start off, Daz, with young Alex Murphy, Galway United, to Shamrock Rovers, 18-year-old full-back, international at that level. Thought of highly in Galway, played very well for Galway last season as well. Interesting link though with Shamrock Rovers. Do you think this could be a good move for him, and is it likely or unlikely?
Yeah, like it's great for him. Like he's getting recognition, being such a young player. You know, playing international football underage for Ireland, and with Galway obviously and doing quite well. Obviously, everyone in the league is taking note of him and how good he's doing. He's obviously progressing really, really well, and to be linked with Shamrock Rovers and at such a young age from another club, it's always very good. And I would say there's something in there. Shamrock Rovers love bringing new players, young players to the club, and I just think the only thing is though, will he get game time? He's very young, but there's no he could go to Shamrock Rovers, maybe go out on loan to a first division, League of Ireland club in Dublin. That would be quite good. Or he could go down to Wexford. I know it's a step down from playing at Galway.
Maybe back to Galway. That be an option, do you think?
Maybe, but then again, Shamrock Rovers might have to pay a nominational fee. They might have to pay a transfer fee. You don't know. A lot of costs might be involved to do that. That could squander a deal a little bit. They might say to him, "Stay at Galway, and we'll sign you a year later." He's still progressing. I think there's a lot of ifs and buts and a big paper trail behind this one. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I think for me, it'd be about a 5 at the minute. It's just he'd have a lot of options. There'd be a lot more clubs circling around, and I know the season of Galway won't do him any harm if he's playing and getting into the team, and a bigger club in Shamrock Rovers could come along then next season. He's so young, very talented, but I'd give that one a 5. I do think there's something in it, but as I said, there's a lot of variables at play with that kind of a move.
Yeah, the question for me, he could be better off staying at Galway for another season. Just make sure he plays first team football. Brandon Kavanagh linked to Derry City. Of course, Brandon Kavanagh was on loan at Bray this season, but I'm just kind of thinking there because he was out of contract, but then we found out he wasn't out of contract. I was sure he was out of contract. And apparently Rovers won't accept anything under than about 20-25k for him. You'd argue Derry can spend that money. They have already. They spent 40k, for example, on McGonigal, who's done very well. Do you see any movement here?
No. I think if they're going to put 25k into a player, I think they can get someone better than Brandon Kavanagh. I do think he's a great player. I think he's really good. But I think if they're going to actually go out and physically spend money, which clubs in the League of Ireland very rarely do, I think there's better options out there that they could pursue and look after. But he is linked with them, and they have actually went out and spent money, like you said. So, there could be very well something in this one. And he is a proven player at the end of the day, and he has been doing very well at Bray. And Derry are spending money, and they have got money. But I don't really think there'll be much movement in this one. I think Derry just can go out and get better. They have money to back in. If they're going to spend 25 grand on the player, why not go and get someone who's playing Premier Division football last season and playing well and offer a club money and see can they get them? So I don't really see much movement in this one. I'll probably put this one at about a 4 for me.
4 out of 10. Right, we've got Mark Doyle from Mark Doyle from Drogheda United to St. Patrick's Athletic. Of course, Mark Doyle scored 13 goals this season for Drogheda in the league. How do you see this one?
Firstly, Mark Doyle, what a season he's had. He's had a very, very good season. I'm surprised there's not more teams in the league linked with him. I'm sure behind the scenes there is. I'm sure there's a lot of teams looking to try and get his signature because he's done very, very well last season. He was in good form for most of the season and scored a lot of goals. So I think for now it might be about a 6. Obviously, Pats, it'd be a good team for him to go to. He'd get in, I'd say he'd play there. So I definitely think there's something in it. But I think for the meantime, he's probably going to pause this just to see is there any other further movement.
Yeah, so we'll move on to Brian Maher from Bray Wanderers to Derry. And obviously Brian Maher is the Irish under-21 international goalkeeper, young goalkeeper, obviously good goalkeeper, being at Bray, very good at Bray this season as well. Derry allegedly are in the market for a goalkeeper. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I put this one up high, I'd say, but it's about an 8. I've seen on numerous links about this one. He's a very young keeper. He's a solid keeper. He's everything you'd want in a keeper for such a young age. As you said, Derry obviously want a keeper. They're going to go out and get one. They have the money to offer him to come the whole way up to Derry. They keep him there. He have a lot of years left in him going forward as well. before they probably even think about change keeper again. So it'd be a good investment for the future for Derry. So I would say there's movement to this one. I'll put this one as an 8.
Aaron O'Driscoll from Longford Town to Shelburne. Now, Aaron was voted the Longford Player of the Year, 22-year-old defender, on loan from Macclesfield. So I'm not really too sure if he'll go back to Macclesfield or what the crack is there. But he's been linked with a move to Shelburne and Damien Duff. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I think with this one, again, it might be a bit of a paper trail. He could obviously be on a good contract at, from the English clubs, Flemish club. And, that's a 2 or 3 year deal. I don't know his contracts off my head, but you will be looking at a transfer fee unless he gets released or unless he goes on loan. I think loan could be a possibility for him to Shelburne. I think that would be a good deal for him and Shelburne to getting a player that's played in the league. He's 22, he needs to be playing. And I think, Shelburne, I don't think will be struggling too much next season, and they've got money. And he probably would like to play on a Damien Duff. I think a lot of players would like to play underneath him or try it out. So I would say just move into this one. I put this one at 7. But it remains to be seen if Shelburne will try and get him on a full deal, because there'd probably be a transfer fee involved, like I said, unless he's released from his contract. So I'd say just move into this one, but a loan possibly more than a permanent deal. So I'll put it at 7 maybe.
Yeah, and interestingly, one of the rumours we had in the show recently, Michael O'Connor, has actually moved to Glentoran. So that was one of our rumours. I can't remember what rating you gave that. I think you might have given it an 8. I think I'd have to check back, or someone in the comments might remember and tell us. But that's an interesting one for Michael O'Connor, isn't it? Before we finish up.
Yeah, interesting move. Going up to the Northern Irish League, he's not really getting a break for himself because our season's obviously concurrent with England. So best luck to him up there, and I hope he does really well.
Absolutely. Look, lads, let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you think of the rumours. Give us a rating yourself, actually, as well. Subscribe to the video, or subscribe to the channel, rather. Hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video. And thanks for watching. Thank you very much.